Welcome to Dark Horizon Creations. This time we're taking a look at the Star Wars, the Vintage Collection Navarro Stormtrooper. Now, if you hadn't already, please follow, like, and subscribe to my social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Don't forget to hit that bell icon so you get a notification of when I post new content. Alright, so here we have the Deluxe Imperial Stormtrooper with E-Web Heavy Repeating Blaster. This is from Star Wars The Mandalorian from the Navarro battle scene. I picked this up down at Galactic Comics in Florence, South Carolina for $10. And unfortunately, I didn't see this. A sticker on the back that says incomplete and tape where it had been opened. And this has been a recurring theme from shopping at Galactic Comics, and quite honestly, I don't foresee myself going back to their store and buying anything, because I've made a couple of big purchases in their store in the past. Rogue One AT-ACT that had been opened, the figures had been switched out in it, and it was supposed to be new. And most recently, when I purchased this, I also picked up the Vintage Collection E-Wing, and it also had been opened and was supposed to be new, and had something red, wasn't paint, some sort of chemical spilled along the back side of it, and could not get it out, not even with sandpaper. I've been collecting and customizing toys for 20 years now, and I've never encountered anything like that on a toy from the factory, and that's how I know that toy had been opened. And the owner did make it right. He did give me a full refund on the E-Wing, but I had no idea that this had that sticker on the back saying that it was incomplete. I just didn't pay attention to it. So, taking a look at the packaging, you got plastic-free packaging, no window display box with insert tray here. You just have the toy in a action sequence, which still looks cool. I like the diode that they've got set up there for the toy. On the back of the packaging, it's got that same artwork, and it shows everything included inside the box. You get the Vintage Collection Stormtrooper, you get the E-Web Heavy Repeating Blaster, the tripod, you have the portable energizer for the cannon, and then you've got a blast effect. Okay, so here we have the Stormtrooper and the E-Web outside of the packaging, and indeed it is missing one critical piece to the tripod. It's missing the bracket that connects at the base of the tripod legs just below the mount to prevent them from spreading and snapping out of position. The cannon itself is also really warped. I should be able to remedy that by submerging it in some boiling hot water for about 40 or 50 seconds, taking it out, straightening it, and then once I get it into position, I can dunk it in some ice cold water and it'll retain that position. So to begin, let's talk about Stormtrooper. See, one of his accessory pouches on the belt here is kind of warped. It looks okay. Looks like he's had a better day than whoever his previous owner was. Head's on a ball joint. Forward and lateral movement there at the shoulder. Bicep rotation. It's impeded by the shoulder armor. And single jointed elbow rotation there. Wrist rotation. I think wrist pivot. Torso's on a ball joint. No waist swivel. Forward and lateral movement to thigh rotation. It's like single jointed knee rotation. Your foot will pivot and roll. So he's okay for what he is. He will stand. Unfortunately, he doesn't include a sidearm, E11, or holster. Let's talk about the E-Web. Here's the energizer. You guys can see I just baptized all of these things in some alcohol because I don't purchase used toys. If I'd known this was used, I wouldn't have bought it. I've got the removable line going from the energizer to the cannon, and you can see how warped the cannon is. hopefully that can be remedied. It's got some decent detail in it. And you can see these tripod legs aren't mounted correctly. Yeah, they're supposed to actually be mounted like that. That's a little more stable. But there's a part that connects around them right here, a bracket that's missing. You can see the back of the gun where the sight is and the barrel. Shows how warped it is. And see if he can get the gun in his hand, controls in his hands. Sort of, yes, no, maybe. If I slide his hands down. Not really. So with some work, manipulating his fingers and stuff, you could get him to grip the controls. Here's the blast effect that it includes. Plug that into the muzzle. What I don't like about it is how low it sits with this tripod. That should be a little bit higher, at least up to his torso, where he could look through the sight and still manipulate fire controls for the weapon. So that's sort of disappointing. It's disappointing altogether because this was used, it was open. I wasn't aware of that, and again, if I had been, I wouldn't have purchased it. If you're a collector or fan and you can find this complete, sealed in a box for $10, it's definitely worth it. So there you have the Star Wars, the Vintage Collection, Navarro's Stormtrooper with E-Web Heavy Repeating Blaster by Kidder.